Okay, we are live now, I guess. We had some technical difficulties trying to even get that accomplished. So we're finally here. And now that we're finally here, we have to figure out what the major damage is that has been done with everything that has been compiled in the last couple of months to figure out what in the world is transpiring in the NFL. Deshaun Watson, ladies and gentlemen, wants out. We know that to be true. What's up, Richie? We're going to open up the StreamYard and people will be able to come in here and voice their opinion, and you could be able to state your claim as to what you feel about the situation on where he's actually going. Everybody hit the like button. Now, yesterday I wasn't 100%. I wasn't feeling that well. A lot of people didn't know that. But later on in the day, I wasn't feeling that well. So I had to call it a short night and go to bed. So that was the only reason that Gavin and Bear actually won a game. No, wait a minute. I beat Bear yesterday. So, yeah, I'm better now. I just had a head cold. So I've been in here getting my green tea on. I think Gavin called me too. I was in the middle of making a video. When I get back in the house, I'll beat all you guys. Everybody who ready to play will get smashed. Now, here's the situation. The Cobra Kai review is coming, I think, today. We're supposed to be doing, I'm waiting on Sean to see what's happening with Jazz. We're going to do the Wonder Woman 3. We're going to do a StreamYard, first StreamYard ever done on Screen Thing. So that's going to happen today. But let's talk Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, where is he going to land? First off, this is the number 5th ranked quarterback in the NFL. He led the league in passing this year. Not Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun Watson led the league in passing. And he has nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing in Houston. He had no offensive line. He has not thrown 26 interceptions yet. And we're going to still find the landing spots. I'm going to send the link out so you guys can get in here in a minute. Now, remember, in September, he signed one of the largest contract extensions for an NFL quarterback. He signed for $156 million. That's $39 million a year, and he wants out. It's been reported he's ready to go. He's unhappy, and he wants out. Now, the Texans, even though they have no taxes in Texas, they still on the hook for like $21.6 million in 2021. If he's not on the team. So that means that their cap hit is set to be around $16 million, which is high. So trading him, we're at about almost $6 million in dead money in 2021. But it will save them significantly in the next years coming in 2022 and 2023 and beyond, right? Because that makes sense. Now, for the teams trading for Watson, that's going to be a different picture. Watson would count as about $10 million against your salary cap that you got in 2021. That number will rise as the future years come. So you got to look at it. If they do trade him to a team, it's going to have to be a team that's ready to contend right away, because you're going to have to pay him like $35 million in 2022, $37 million in 2023. Now, before decreasing slightly to $32 million in each of the final 2 years of his contract, those are the hopes that the league will be even close to normal circumstances. You know, you got to remember, this is still COVID, and he still has that money that they got to pay him. So there's no fans showing up right now. So they're hoping that they can get back to some type of normalcy. See, Deshaun Watson had a no trade clause in his contract, but that isn't a, prohibitive as it sounds. He could waive the clause and they can trade him to a team, but it's going to have to be a team he likes, or he can veto the trade and he'll just stay in Houston. So he has the veto power. So they can't just trade him to any team and he don't like it. If he don't want to go to that team, he can 86 the deal. So he has that control. Now, everybody is freaking out about who the team should be to get him, right? Hopefully you guys have all hit the like button. Well, a lot of people have made those decisions on who should be the team to come and get him. Now, I hear a lot of people saying Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, if you're going to pay that money, you already got Dak Prescott that's on the board, and you're willing to pay this money for Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott. Okay, but now you're going to take a cap hit because you got Amari Cooper and you got Zeke, and you didn't get them for the Lolo. So you would have to find a way to get rid of the contract that you got with Amari Cooper. When I don't know who's going to want to take that. That's just honest. Who would take that contract? So you got to look at it. What could they actually provide? The Cowboys would have to give up something to get him. And what could the Chicago Bears give up? You'll have to do a sign and trade with Mitchell Trubisky, who is a quarterback that many don't feel is even worthy of being a starting quarterback. Many feel that Mitch, more than likely, is a backup quarterback. The only team that was interested in getting Mitch when all of this was going on, the only team that was really interested in getting Mitch Trubisky was the Denver Broncos. They wanted to get him as a look to be a backup because Vic Fangio knows him and knows the system and said, okay, we can probably bring this guy in, but he wants to get paid, obviously, top dollar. He's going to want to get paid top dollar. Now you have another problem if you're the Bears. Robinson, he's very unhappy. Now he could be a free agent, or the Bears could franchise tag him and really piss him off. They've already been pissed him off. So unless they're ready to franchise tag him, which they probably going to do because they're the Chicago Bears, they paid him, instead of paying him the $17 million, they gave it to Cohen. Biggest mistake they've ever made. Before he got hurt, Cohen wasn't doing a damn thing. And now they're up against it. Well, people got to want to this. I can kind of agree with that. But when people speak in generally when people speak, they're not thinking like that. They're thinking what's the best for the position for the quarterback. The Bears have not had a history of going after African-American quarterbacks. They don't believe it. Virginia McCaskey is very old school. She still has control. She's like 96 years old. She still goes to the games. She believes in the old style way of running the team. They had a chance to get Patrick Mahomes. They had a chance to get Deshaun Watson in the draft. He not only proved that he beat the best team in football, he also proved that he can do it 2 years in a row. Lead the team there. A high-powered team like Alabama, with that all-pro defense, they had like 6, 7 guys go to the NFL off that defense alone. That's what he was up against. He wasn't up against some mediocre team. He was up against top-notch defensive players. Virginia is 101. Jesus, look at that. 101. And she still goes to the games. And she still got control of the team, and she will not relinquish. Now, the main problem that they have is things have not been made simple as far as where they're going to go with Deshaun Watson. We could easily just throw teams' names out, but they have to be able to make it reality. The place he would go, if they say the 49ers, a lot of people think the 49ers are the best place for him. They got an injured quarterback who they don't need, who they paid grossly too much money for, and Jimmy Garoppolo. But they have not committed to a long-term deal with him. He's injury-prone, and they've depended mostly on running anyway. The team that fits their scenario with Deshaun Watson, who could turn this team around and actually go to a whole nother level, Houston would never trade him for in their division. That's out. The only team that makes sense that would actually probably work, to me, in my opinion, is the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots are in the best position. If they land Deshaun Watson, they could be right back in the hunt. The Steelers are not really in position. They're really not. But I could see that. The Lions' problem is they still got Stafford, and they won't let go of him. Do you realize the 2 quarterbacks that have almost like all-time NFL records? Matt Stafford and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. Go look at the numbers. Ryan Fitzpatrick is up there as far as yards and everything else as some of the best players in the world. But if you look at Pittsburgh, I mean, let's look at the Steelers. Right? He go to the Steelers. Would that really work? I don't see his style of play working with the Steelers. They have a good defense, but not enough. They're really overrated. And once you've seen the rest of the games and you've seen what's been happening in the last couple of weeks, they kind of exposed that Berger got a noodle arm. He's done. He's throwing ducks. And it's just a matter of time when they get in the playoffs, somebody's going to pop him. Well, you got to look at this. Cam ain't coming back to the Patriots. Nick, it's his first time there. Coming back to the Patriots.
Cino.
What's up? First time there.
Hey, Cino. I'm not going to lie, though. I just dropped a video yesterday talking about Cam.
Okay, you got to turn your audio down.
Just dropped a video yesterday talking about Cam. Hold on.
You got to turn your audio down.
Is it better?
Yep. There we go.
Okay, so I just dropped a video yesterday talking about Cam, talking about how is he finished or whatnot. And I said Cam is not going to, he's not going back to the Patriots, but I can see him going to the Steelers. Now, Deshaun Watson, I can see Deshaun Watson going to the Patriots. But here's the thing, though. Now, I can see the Patriots trading like a couple first rounders, and Sonny Michel, and another guy. But you got to realize the Houston Texans are in a rebuild mode. They got rid of the DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, JJ Watt, either he's going to get traded or he's going to become a free agent. He might be retiring, either not this year or next year.
Yeah, I remember Gavin was telling me too that
you can see it in his face that he's going to retire.
Yeah, I mean, he told Deshaun Watson at the last game, "I'm sorry for wasting one of your years." Somebody said he said that to him on the field, like on the last game. I think that was Gavin that told me that he told Deshaun Watson, "I'm sorry for wasting one of your years." And he did, because he was done. I mean, the injuries have taken a toll on him for his position. Right. It's like Clay Matthews, when they get to that point where it's over, Green Bay, I got to give him the Balls of the Year award. They got rid of him quick. I'm like, dude, and for somebody like Clay Matthews, that's like them saying giving up on Urlacher, like the Bears, like, you know what, just trade Urlacher.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, they just got rid of Clay Matthews. I'm like, dude, y'all just got rid of him. Like, he wasn't like the face of y'all. He was the face of the defense.
You know, it's the face of that Watson should not go to, and that's the Saints, because the Saints have a thing against brothers.
They're way over the salary cap. I was telling you about the salary cap earlier.
Got their quarterback. They don't need Deshaun Watson. They got their quarterback.
Drew Brees is going to retire soon.
No, I ain't talking about Drew Brees. I'm talking about the guy that was actually winning the games.
Number 7?
Number 7, yeah. That dude.
He can't really throw like that.
He reminds me of what Tebow should have been.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, he does remind me of Tim Tebow. Just a better passer, though.
Oh, to me, I see Deshaun Watson in Denver. To me, I see him in Denver.
You see him in Denver?
You can say that. I see him in Denver. I can see him on the Colts. You say they're not going to trade in the division, but I can see him.
Right.
Because Denver got receivers, and Denver, he'll be lethal. He'll be lethal with the weapons.
And Denver's been starving for a quarterback.
Defense to support him. So.
Really starving for a quarterback. That's all they're missing. I mean, in a way, but man, my Jets got to make a move. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I heard y'all might get.
I do not want him on the Patriots, man. I do not want him on the Patriots because man, we got Josh Allen. We got the Dolphins is starting to come up now.
That's one thing, man. You ride and die with them Jets, man. That's one thing about.
That's how you know I'm a fan.
Yeah, he is riding down with Jets.
Yeah, but babe, we need to get Deshaun Watson though, because Brady gonna be gone after 2 years.
No,
y'all not getting rid of Tom Brady.
You can keep wishing that's gonna happen. Brady gonna play about 3-4 more years. If he can, look, he put up 43 touchdowns.
Here's the thing, though, we messed up by not getting Jalen Hurts.
Nah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is really ready yet. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's really hasn't been accurate with the ball.
His accuracy
is not there. His arm strength is not there. I was watching him try to make throws. He can't make a lot of throws. He can't make, and I'm like, oh god, he's throwing ducks. I mean, his completion ratio is terrible. Like. For anybody who started out, was one of the worst. He had like a 30%. He was like 7 for 20 something on guys direct
from Brady.
My thing is, look, they didn't have no preseason. This is
right.
all comes to like they didn't have no preseason.
I didn't judge him because he had no preseason. He just got thrown in. You know what I'm saying?
Training camp.
That's how Cam was. Cam didn't learn the Patriots system. They didn't have preseason.
Exactly. Yeah. And they didn't put no wide receivers around them. You can't do that with Cam.
But some of the things that they see, I already knew. Cam can't run those plays like Brady can. Like the plays that they run that Brady has to throw, you have to be able to. Cam is not an accurate thrower of the ball. He don't his functionality is different. He doesn't have the follow through. His mechanics are different. He don't have the regular quarterback mechanics. It was like when they were showing Brady throw and they showed Tebow throw and how it was.
Hey, get on my dog Tebow.
Yeah, it was just like night and day, and that's exactly how it was.
True. Tebow couldn't throw.
Tebow could sling the ball, but the accuracy is going to be off. If you throw it and you can see a perfect passer, they're going to make those dart throws. And the way that in New England are, the receivers can't get receptions. You got to throw them open. And this is the problem that Cam had. When he had guys on his team, he normally had guys that could get separation. And then all you got to do is hit them. You got a strong enough arm, you can hit them. Anybody should be able to make that throw. But can you make a throw when the guy is like right on the defender's right on the receiver and he's open, but by like an inch? And you got to get that ball right there in that spot where he can catch it. Brady can do that. The greats can do that.
Right. So where do you see Cam going to next year?
I would say Washington.
Nah.
Reunite with his old coach?
I don't know, man. I mean, the way I look at it for Deshaun Watson, the Patriots had their first losing season this year, and mostly was because they didn't have Brady. But they would have lost. They wouldn't have won the championship.
They didn't have Brady. They didn't have Dante Howard. I mean, what's his name? Hightower. They didn't have Hightower. They didn't have Chung. A lot of people stayed out. So it's not just Cam Newton. They didn't have no wide receivers either.
It wasn't just Cam. They don't have wide. They didn't have a lot of.
Even though they just murdered my team last week, but
Brady was still able to get that team to the playoffs.
But you gotta realize, you gotta blame the Patriots too, because they wanted Cam to be that replacement. It's like the New York Knicks; they wanted RJ Barrett to save him in their first year. You can't do that.
They thought they got Cam for the low. That's the only reason the Patriots picked him up. They was ready to start this season with Stidwell or Stidman or whatever his name is, so Stidham.
Yeah,
because Jarrett Stidham was their guy. So I'm like, dude, Jarrett Stidham ain't did nothing in the last 2 seasons. He just knows the Belichick system, but he can't deliver. He might know the play, but he can't deliver. So Cam was thrown in as test under fire. They got him for the low. He was like, man, we got a big name like Cam Newton, and we ain't got to be responsible for paying him nothing. Oh, this is great. We can just pay him the low. Got to take that. So that's why the only reason they took Cam. And he cannot do the passing route tree. He can't make them all. He can't. He's going to work hard. He's going to say the right things. And Cam has never said nothing wrong in no interview, no press conference, nothing. He's always stood up, never badmouth an organization. You're never going to have a conduct problem with him.
No trouble.
That stemmed from that Super Bowl against Denver. That's why a lot of teams take a chance on Cam.
That's not it. A lot of teams didn't want to take a chance on Cam because they felt like his prime years was over, and the best Cam we saw was in 2015. Normally, when they start declining like that, when quarterbacks was taking a lot of hits, because he took a lot of hits the very next year, he was basically concussed. Like
how ironic.
Yeah, and they were letting him get hit in the head, helmet to helmet, and nobody was saying nothing. The refs weren't even calling it, and they was like, "Well, he's a big guy. How you?"
They was punishing him from that Super Bowl. Yeah. That's what it was. I remember that Denver game.
They still punishing brothers too. Have you ever realized every time a brother starts on a team, the offensive line disappears, but let it be a white guy.
Well, no, it just depends. Sometimes, I mean, white guys getting blown up too. Because look, your job is to protect the quarterback. So if you like, I'm gonna let him get hit. If you keep doing that, you're gonna be out of a job because they ain't gonna be looking at the quarterback. They looking at you. So it ain't that. It's just that they not getting him help. That's like Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson, I'm like, look, they gotta have a better offensive line to protect Russ. Because I'm like, man, Russ gotta do a lot of moving back there to keep. Because I'm like, that team, Seattle, would not win 2 games if it wasn't for Russell Wilson.
Is he still getting traded though?
That's a fact.
No, he was about to. They were about to trade Russell Wilson, and
that would be a mistake. That would definitely be a mistake.
Right, the trade got rejected because somebody got hurt, and then somebody didn't want to do the deal. But yeah, the trade was already.
And you think Baker Mayfield would be doing what Russell Wilson is doing right now?
Yeah, hell no, the money.
Hell no.
This man Russell Wilson has been dealing with no offensive line at all. And he's been doing his work. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that fourth quarter, when it comes down to clutch, you already know Russell Wilson's going to get the job done. That's just a given. We see that all the time.
Yeah, they got remember Nick Cassidy, the new general manager who spent 20 seasons with the Patriots. He coming over to the Texans now, and he's not looking to do the Patriots any favors. That's what they was like, man, he been over there, the general manager for 20 years. I mean, he the new general manager over there with the Texans. He spent 20 years with the Patriots. And I'm like, the team I think he might trade him to the Patriots to do his old team a favor. Because now he's the general manager of the Texans. And let's think Nick Cassero, man, that dude is now gonna probably be wanting to get that off the books, but the Patriots they don't. But the problem is the Patriots are cheap. they didn't want to pay Tom Brady. That's if you don't want to pay Tom Brady, I'm like, damn, Robert Kraft, you don't want to pay Tom Brady. Shoot,
I bet you Bill Belichick would take the Jimmy Garoppolo route.
When Moss put up the best year in the Patriots history, they ain't never seen nothing like it. He was telling them what they should do and designing plays on offense, helping Belichick and telling him what he was doing wrong, which opened up the Patriots offense. Patriots never had an offense like that. They never was that type of team. They were a team that's going to win a game 10-3. Belichick was defense. Tom, don't screw it up. Just go out there, get first downs, we kick a field goal, and that's it. I mean, that's how Tom was like, man, I could really light this thing up if you let me go. No, we don't want to let it go. Randy came there, changed all that.
Yep. Now, that's the team that should have won the Super Bowl. They had an all-pro team.
Yeah, but they tore the league up because they never saw Randy coming. Randy was getting like 4 touchdowns a week. It was crazy. I had never seen nothing like that. I'm like, this dude got 4 touchdowns already? He's like, yeah, he got 4 today. I'm like, damn. Moss was on fire that year, man. He
was on that 08 season?
Yeah, he ended up with 25.
I'll never forget that season.
That's the record for receivers. Nobody's ever caught 25 touchdowns in a season. Freak was, but it was the way he was doing it. He was destroying the league.
That was the only time I rooted for the Patriots. I couldn't stand New England, but that year,
I was rooting for them too. I can't even lie. I can't even lie about that. But I don't know what's going on in Houston because it seems like everybody's trying to leave. You got James Harden, you got Russell Westbrook, and now you got Deshaun Watson. It's it's crazy.
Well,
and it started off as what's it called, Hopkins. But I can't lie, Bill O'Reilly really screwed over that team. It really did. They gave away a whole bunch of draft picks. The Dolphins got their pick right now. They got their first round pick. So the Dolphins is picking at 3rd. And they just went. They almost made it to the playoffs, and now they're picking at the 3rd spot. So
they're going to get
crazy.
Devontae Smith.
They could trade that pick.
I don't know if that's a good one. I'm trying to think. Like if he goes to, let's say they, I'm trying to think, who could they give up? Because if they go, let's say he go to the 49ers. They got
I'm thinking 49ers.
They got who's Burhard and Nick Mullins. Mullins is the guy they mostly rely on, but Kyle Shanahan is one of the best play callers in the league.
But you know what I heard? I heard Dak. Don't rule out Dak might go to the 49ers if Jerry Jones don't pay him that money.
If Jerry Jones don't give him the money, the Cowboys will probably franchise tag him again, which would ruin them because they're going to end up paying Dak even more money. So they want to depend on the Red Rocket and think Andy Dalton had something. And they was trying to, well, we could probably win some games with Andy Dalton. The Cowboys got way more problems than quarterback. Because even when Dak was there, they were going down by 30 points, and he was getting all his stats coming back when the game was over. You know, he's trying to come back because they're down by 21-3. So I'm like, dude, the problem with the Cowboys is the general manager. They don't have one. And the son's doing everything. We keeping it all in house, and this is why you lose.
Their whole family should be out of business. People tend to forget what they did to Tom Landry.
Yeah, but the thing is that Tom Landry, it was time for him to go. Tom Landry was just, at that time, he was what they call a lame duck coach. Tom just didn't want to go out in the fashion that they did. You know, like they didn't give him a final season or nothing. They just kind of like put him out the pastures immediately as soon as they bought the team. Jerry came in. Jimmy Johnson was his coach that he wanted to choose, and then he ruined it because Jimmy's the football guy. Jerry's not, and Jimmy controls the show, and Jerry want to be present. Like, it's my team. What you mean I can't be in the locker room? It's my team. He's like, look, this is my team. I got to get them ready to play. You win 2 Super Bowls with Jimmy, and now all of a sudden you gonna try to tell Jimmy what's what? Jimmy, Jimmy quit right there.
If Jimmy would have stayed with the Cowboys, they probably would have won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And then they would have got Deion Sanders earlier.
Yeah, they probably would have, because the thing is they were supposed to get him in the 49ers, snuck him. And then Jerry Rice and Deion got into it because Deion came there flamboyant and Jerry's not. That's like oil and water. I was surprised they made it through the season. But it was LeBron. Yeah, it was Deion's team. Deion was the biggest thing on the team. Jerry is more laid back, but it became Deion's team, and Deion's attitude and locker room and everything else is not how 49er, proceed. And Jerry had to let him know one day, like, look, it's my team.
Because Deion went out of town. He went out of town. Miss Brady. Deion's town.
People are also saying it in the chat as well too, but we are forgetting one team is the Eagles. Maybe they got a lot of capital. A lot of people is not coming back from that team, and they're over the salary cap as well too. And,
but you paid a quarterback already. You already paid a quarterback. You already got a quarterback problem. You got a guy that you already trade. So somebody that you trade is gonna have to want to take your quarterback that don't want to be there no more, because he wants to be in a trade. He wants to be traded at the end of the year. He's ready to go. So now they got to trade their quarterback. So you got to have to want Carson Wentz and his $1 million contract. So now who gonna want to make the trade with him? So Houston gonna want to take Carson Wentz, and then for Deshaun Watson, hey, they can do that and get that. They gonna want more. If you Houston, you gonna want a lot more than Carson Wentz. I'm getting a damaged good quarterback who was just benched for a rookie. No way. In the middle of the season, and his numbers were so atrocious, it didn't even make sense. Terrible. His numbers, Carson Wentz numbers were so terrible.
People was dropping the balls as well too. That was what happened. Was going on with Cam Newton as well too. Like, I was watching the game, a lot of them was just dropping the ball. But I seen it on the Eagles as well too.
Yeah, I watched some of the games, and they did have some bad drops on, especially on like a third down play by the goal line.
Right.
Yep.
So it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be a team that that has a lot of capital that they can actually trade away, and they got picks as well too. Because the thing about Houston, they have no picks. because they gave away a lot of stuff. So that's why
trade him to Atlanta.
They're gonna want some capital back.
Now the thing is, if Virginia McCaskey would drop her insaneness about African American quarterbacks, been plenty of them she let go past that they could have had.
The perfect quarterback for the Bears.
Oh,
yeah. Because you're not happy with your situation, right? With the quarterback.
No, nobody but Gavin. Nobody but Gavin is happy about the situation.
We got a guy. Okay, well, we
Nobody
got a guy.
Wants Sam Darnold.
He's
Nobody
white, so
wants Sam Darnold, dog.
Go to the Raiders.
Nobody wants Sam Darnold, dog. Stop
Come on, man! I'm trying to pitch.
Stop it, dog. You've been trying to trade him the past 3 yards, the past 5.
Hey, what about Matthew Stafford?
Nobody want him. They don't want Darnold.
Don't say that. He'll
come
be
in
Chicago
the pitch.
Bear by next week. The Bears make a trade.
Trade Derek Carr. Trade Derek Carr.
I'm just stopping by on break. Hey, I just stopped by to say what up to y'all on break, man. But what y'all think about before I bounce? What y'all think about Pittsburgh and Miami?
Man, he on the trade block.
Miami, they got Tua. They finna start the Tua era. So they ain't thinking for that. That's too much merchandising for them.
He got benched like 3 times.
You know,
he don't get getting benched. I mean, this is his rookie year. He didn't have a.
I hope you're right. I don't want to see Watson.
Injury prone. So they're gonna need somebody to be a backup for when he go down. So that's all they know. They know this kid ain't really durable, and his arm strength ain't really there for the long game. But there's a lot of Samoans in Florida.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of people got them Tua jerseys. Tua, baby.
But I mean, Pittsburgh would be good for them, or you could send them, like y'all were saying, to the Niners. That would be a good place for them too, or Atlanta.
Exactly.
Go to the Raiders. Let me go to the Raiders. Oh hell no! Oh
yeah, the Raiders could work.
Him and John Gruden's
Y'all
not
gotta
gonna.
Y'all gotta also think.
Hey,
maybe
that's the only position John Gruden ain't changed.
That's all the Raiders need is a quarterback. That's it.
It's not changed because that's the only guy who's there.
Frank trying to get in here. Try to put the link down.
I'll put the link out.
Because, dog, if he play for the Raiders, if he gets put for the Raiders, they straight because you got the receivers and you got the running backs and your defense will be straight. They just got hit by COVID a lot this year. But they got a straight little team coming up.
Yeah, but see, the thing with the Steelers is
Steelers
is good with their defense. They real good at drafting defense. It's offensively is their problem. They run very remedial plays on offense, and now, like when they start playing the good teams, they wouldn't beat nobody no more. Ben's arm is done. They had no running game whatsoever. Ben was throwing the ball 4,800 times a game. They were playing like Gavin.
He was changing the plays. He was changing the plays.
They played just like that. No running.
He was changing the plays too. He was changing the plays a lot too. They were talking about that. Like he would go away from run plays a lot. And he's been doing that the past 2 or 3 years.
So
that could also be something.
Send the link again when I have sent the link like 3 times.
James,
I'm watching the link like.
To be honest, I can't lie. Now that you said that, HD, I definitely see a perfect fit with him with the Steelers because they know how to. I don't know what it is about the Steelers.
Yeah, they got receivers. They draft receivers great. They got the receivers.
Draft wide receivers.
Right. Yeah. And then they got the defense.
Even if those receivers are not there.
But here's the thing. What could the Steelers give up? What could the Steelers give up to the Texans to make the deal happen?
I'll give a Ben Roethlisberger.
They got tons. See, the thing is, they got a ton. They got picks. They also have a ton of assets on the defense, and they could possibly trade a wide receiver. They don't even have that much wide receivers in Houston as well.
But what about that prick?
My thing is, like I just.
Mason, they ain't gonna take him.
I would not take him.
They ain't gonna take no Mason Rudolph. That boy ain't throw straight. I thought after Myles Garrett hit him, I thought it would be good.
Man, they got everybody hyped up about that game, and I was like, well, they finna show the clip when he do get hit in the head with the helmet.
Right.
Man,
you see that BS they tried to promote? You see that BS they tried to promote? They kept showing it all week. Well, it's Rudolph and Garrett. Like, it's finna be a big deal. Come on, dog. Stop it.
Rudolph,
that game was so boring. The Browns should have lost that game. The Browns was about to choke the damn game. Yeah, Baker Mayfield steady choking.
We were trying to figure out who was the most overrated team in the playoffs, and I was like, it's got to be the Browns.
It's the Browns. It's the Browns. They overrated.
Hey, Baker Mayfield for the Deshaun Watson.
I would say the Steelers.
Yeah.
They always beat the Browns for some reason. So
no, the Steelers. I like the Steelers defense. I like their receiving core a little better. I think they're a little mentally tougher than the Browns. The Browns are just all flash and that. And they got lucky because they snuck a lot of teams. And then when they played teams that they were supposed to beat, they got beat up.
Yeah.
So I don't see them. I don't really see the Browns. I see them one and done.
Go man, leave my Browns alone. You even left the Browns alone. You play with
right. You play with the Packers now. You left the Browns.
He's in Green Bay, Washington. He's moving on.
What Deshaun go to Cincinnati? Someone like Cincinnati. What about Cincinnati?
Might go to Carolina.
No.
Cincinnati, they got their quarterback.
No, Cincinnati got Burrow. He gonna go to Carolina.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, Christian love that.
Nah.
Christian love that. I told you, HD. I told you he'll be crying. I told you. I told you.
Now, I will admit, out of all the teams in the NFL, ones that surprised me was the Carolina Panthers. Their defense. It surprised me in a lot of games. I said, whoa, they ain't really not that far off. I was just like, man, because Christian McCaffrey, basically, this whole season, he was done. He was injured. Immediately. So he was done. It's just like Saquon Barkley. You know, I'm like, man, everybody was in a big contract.
It's like it's a jinx, man. Every time somebody get a big contract, they get hurt the next year.
Yep.
Well, this year was going to do that because there's no OTAs, no training camp.
Right.
You know, it was like thrown out.
No training camp, right preseason.
I mean, all these things the NFL put in place is for a reason.
Right.
For a reason.
Right.
You gotta have
the Buccaneers is a good example of a team that just comes together and it does not work out. You have to literally
leave my Bucks alone. Leave my Bucks alone now.
Man, why are you bringing up the Bucks? Your Jets ain't come together. Your Jets ain't come together. Worry about Sam Darnold over there. Don't worry about the Tampa Bay area. We all right over here.
We got a good excuse. We got Adam Gase, the head coach.
Yeah, Sam Darnold to the Cowboys. Yeah, I see that. Go to the Cowboys. Trade for that. Oh yeah, he beat the Cowboys.
I think Jerry Jones big. I hope Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry Jones will pick him. He white. He just white. He is just white. So he'll get Sam Darnold. So he need to go get him right now.
Yeah.
And give the Jets the back.
I heard Jerry gonna get his grandson.
But yeah, like
his grandson.
My Jets had an excuse.
He gonna choke too.
He
gonna choke too.
He had the worst head coach in the league.
Somebody put a music video down there driving.
Jerry Jones gonna draft his grandson. His grandson gonna be a bum too. Watch for the Cowboys.
Frank riding through the
what's happening with y'all?
Uncle Frank out here hustling.
Frank riding through the hood.
Hey. Nah, man, I ain't in the hood. I'm in Hayward.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I wanted to say, hey, trade Deshaun Watson to the Las Vegas Raiders for Derek Carr right now.
Yeah.
I told you that'd be a good fit.
His brother played down there in Texas. He's a good old AMA country music white boy. They'll love him.
Not gonna match well.
Man, the thing about Carr
listen. If that don't work out, you remember Sam Darnold's trading block too. You know.
He get injury prone.
Nobody wants Sam Darnold.
The plan A is always the plan B. You gotta have a plan B.
What up, dog? But it's good chopping it up with y'all. I gotta get back to work. Y'all be safe. God bless.
All right, Harry.
All right, man. Stay safe, man.
All right. You still going live?
Yeah, we still live.
Oh,
man, HD came in, messed up my whole pitch, man.
Hey,
it was sounding good.
How about the Rams? Deshaun Watson to the Rams.
The Rams let go of look, what's his name?
Jared
Goff.
Yeah, Goff. Jared Goff. They love him.
But he's a
Goff gave us our first win. Yeah, he is. I mean, yeah. He's like a quarterback that's an up and down quarterback. He's a quarterback that has a good game and then he will have a bad game.
Sam Darnold to the Detroit Lions for Matthew Stafford.
Oh.
No, for trash.
I mean, that's an upgrade. We went from an average quarterback to a above average quarterback.
Don't get that.
Right,
an average quarterback, and we're gonna get an above.
I think in Kyle Shanahan's system, Watson will do well. But the thing is that they got the receivers over there, and the 49ers already got the pieces. Like they can go back. They just got everybody hurt in COVID. That's the only thing messed them up. See, the problem is you got to swallow that contract. He signed that $165 million contract extension. That doggone contract extension is going to crush a lot of teams. They ain't ready for that. So
how many teams can go with that? How many teams can keep up with that? That's a lot.
Yeah, because that's the next year. The hit is on Houston. So the year after that, you're gonna be paying $37 million, $32 million. All the 30, he getting 30, he got $39 million this year.
But see, the only way they're gonna get all that money in cap space if JJ Watt retires.
Well, he gonna retire. That's basically it. I think he's done completely. So that's without doubt.
Like I think see it in his face.
Done. The thing is,
hey fellas, I got to get up out of here, but I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
All right,
my brother.
All right, Frank.
Right.
Stay up.
Yep.
All right.
So, Uncle Frank stopped by, did his thing.
Came in, gave it his little pitch.
Everybody saying that man. Everybody think he should go.
I hope not. No, that would be a nightmare. I do not want him in the division.
They're not going to trade him within their own division, so that's out. And plus, the Denver Broncos, they got the guy they want in Denver, though. He just hurt.
Who?
They quarterback, Locke.
Yeah, man, I heard that man real deal.
Yeah,
Locke
they like
over
him.
Watson.
The thing is when you get a quarterback like Watson, because of how much money it's going to cost you, you got to be ready to win now. You got to be a team that's your last piece you need is the quarterback. Denver is not there. Their defense ain't quite the same. Their defense ain't quite the same. Vic Fangio's offensive plays are very remedial. He came from the Bears. Let that sink in. He a defensive coach from the Bears. They offensive plays don't go normally past 10 yards. They got a great tight end, but he can't stay healthy. That Font, he the real deal. Now, him and Watson will put up some numbers, but if Watson get with another top receiver, him and Hobson,
it's over.
Yeah.
What about New Orleans? What about the Saints? Because isn't Drew Brees going to return?
Hey, the Saints don't like brothers.
They don't even have no salary cap right now.
That dude, number 7, that dude is the fastest white guy I've seen in the world.
He's a bum.
I mean, Saints used to love black quarterback. They used to love black quarterback. Saints.
Man, shoot, that you talking about he a bum? That dude can run. He's an athlete. Yeah. I'm like, man, this number 7. Now that's why he don't have to throw the ball.
Stino. No. He's a bum. He's a bum.
That dude got wheels. That's what I'm gonna tell you now. They couldn't catch him in the flat. They was coming. I'm like, this dude got some go. They said he ran what, a 4.1, 4.2, or something. What he ran, a 4.3?
But you gotta think about it. He's been there for years, though. He's not young.
No, I'm talking about number 7.
Yeah, number 7 on the Saints. Yeah, he's not young. He's been there for a couple of years, though.
I ain't never seen him before until this year. But when he came in there, my man.
Yeah, they used to like put him into certain plays as well too. Like they would take out Breeze and then put him in.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
And that dude,
he's a good athlete. He is. He's fast.
Hey, what about Dwayne Haskins though?
Dwayne Haskins. Man, I don't know. He might be a backup somewhere, man.
they trying to treat him like Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
Basically.
Jamarcus Russell could only throw the deep ball and he wasn't accurate. When they got him in there, they were like, man, we gotta put you on the line if you don't stop, bro. What's wrong with you? He ate his stuff.
I think concerning Dwayne Haskins, he's in the wrong system.
That could be. Sometimes it takes the right system. Look at Tannehill. Tannehill bounced around for years. He was in Miami. He was everywhere, and he finally found a system where they actually.
He was just in Miami. He was in Miami.
Yeah, he did all right in Miami, and they was like, man,
you know who his coach was?
Ooh, don't say Adam Gase.
No, Filipino or whatever his name is.
Adam Gase.
It was Adam Gase.
Keep giving jobs to. Why is he still in the league? My thing, I'm like, dude, this should be his final job.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He was with the Bears.
It is. It better be.
He was with the Bears. Then he went over to Miami and took Cutler with him over there because that was his homeboy when he was offensive coordinator. And that got him another job over there with the Jets. I'm like, what is he showing you in Miami?
Nah, Jared Jones gonna use him to replace Kellen Moore.
All he does, he's not a leader. He runs out superstars. I mean, look at how many times did he traded a lot of people away.
Off the couch. Jay Cutler was retired. He got him off the couch to come in there. I'm like, dude, it's active players in the league you could get.
Who's the wide receiver on the Browns again?
Jay Cutler gonna do to you off the couch.
No, not Odell, the other guy.
Jarvis Landry?
Landry's. Yeah, Landry. He got Landry's traded to the Browns. Adam Gase, because they couldn't get along. Somebody has a big ego, he trades them away. That's what he did with Le'Veon Bell this year. He does that all the time. And he did that with Jamal Adams. That's why Jamal Adams is on the Seahawks.
No, Jamal Adams wanted to go.
Yeah. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be in that situation either. Also that Tyson Hill, he's 30 years old. That number 7.
He probably was on the practice squad.
Nah, he was like the 3rd string quarterback. But they used to put him in some type of plays and stuff like that, like a wildcat.
Hit the throw. Mahomes will stomp out Watson and Lamar Jackson. No way.
Stay off some drugs.
See, Mahomes was put in a good situation. See, that's the situation you're talking about. See, that a team is ready for a championship already. That's the type of contract that Watson has. Just like how Mahomes went to the Chiefs, they was already championship ready. They just needed the quarterback.
And he has a no trade clause in his contract. So that means that he can throw any trade that's out there.
That's dope.
Man.
I know why he did that too, because he has a little injury problems as well too, but it's not too something to really look at because he does stay on the field, But the 2 ACL injuries he had, but that didn't stop him. He was still balling out. He got an arm. He doesn't even really need to run. I think he got a cannon.
Man.
Don't the Saints have Jameis Winston as a backup too?
Yeah.
Jameis Winston?
Yeah. Yep.
Are they gonna keep him too?
Yeah, he hurt himself. He tore his knee up.
But they wasn't gonna use him anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, to a degree.
He should have went to the Steelers.
The thing is, Pittsburgh is when you got Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger is like the whole team. They all wait and see what he gonna do every year. He hold the team hostage to see if he gonna retire or play. And I'm like, dude, come on. And the owners got to deal with him. Coach can't even say nothing to Burger. So it's like, look, it's time to move on from Burger. It's been time to move on from him for 2 years.
Yep.
2 years ago, he should have retired the year before. This year,
that time that they got knocked out by the Jaguars, it was definitely time.
His arm is noodle.
Now, granted, that Jaguars team was good though, because they was really getting at Tom Brady that year.
Oh yeah, and that playoff, Tom knew how to beat him. Keep him on the sideline. Keep that quarterback on the sideline. We're gonna go after Ramsey. We're gonna show you that he don't know everything like he think he do. And they're going to pick and pop. They did everything in that book to win that game. They had to come from behind, and they did.
Hey, who won between him and Golden Tate?
Oh. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember waking up the next day and they was talking about how him and Golden Tate duked it out, and I saw it was a big old huddle. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a big problem at the time.
I mean, Tate said he was gonna see him. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's about the sister, So
yeah.
But see, nobody knows what happened between them two.
Yeah, I think I made a video on it.
And you see LaMarcus Aldridge take Anthony Davis to school last night?
Oh yeah, I did. I put it all in that video I just put out about an hour ago. Like that was the battle to see who was the softest dude in the league.
I know, right?
and AD lost.
Once again.
But what's funny, bro?
So 80 years off.
Yeah,
I picked
flexing like I'm like, whoa, this dude this COVID that made him strong.
I picked the Lakers going against the Nets. They gonna screw my team. I know Miami ain't going to the finals. They gonna screw my team. Create this narrative. KD and Kyrie against LeBron and AD. Kyrie is going against LeBron in the finals.
I just don't think they do that. They don't like Kyrie at all. I'm like, trust me, believe me, I don't think they've taken them to the finals at all. They'll use them to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they like Giannis better. Believe me, they
Giannis ain't going to the finals though.
Hey, that's what your mouth say. I'm looking at what the league gonna say. I don't care.
It's on the beginning of the season.
Oh man, dude, they like in 7th place
I mean,
now.
You never know. They do want them. You probably do want them. The LeBron to.
If we going by this, the Bulls are like tied for the 8th spot. It's like right. You cannot make no judgment now. It's Orlando Magic is number 2. Ranked in the division, the Sixers are leading the division. That lets you know right there. This thing is.
Isn't the Knicks is the Knicks is at 5 right now too.
Lord knows.
Yeah, everybody's like, please hold on, Knicks. Hold on.
They playing.
Just 67 games, Knicks. 60, 70 more. You can do it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Man, Austin Rivers was looking like Steph Curry the other night. I was like, oh,
I heard the Lakers might get John Collins from Atlanta. That they're gonna trade Kyle Kuzma and another guy in the draft pick to Atlanta to get John Collins.
Yeah, because John and Trey, they not eye to
eye. Andrew said NBA's trash. Next topic.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. They got that wrong because they play so well together when Collins is on the court. I'm like, dude, y'all play better when Collins is out there with you. So Trey Young, I'll be like, Trey, do you want to go back to when he wasn't here? When he was injured all last year? Do you want to go back to that?
You know that thing? I think the Lakers, I feel like the Lakers got the talent. It's just that they should have kept JaVale or Dwight instead of Mark.
Here's the thing. He was going to come there. He was signed to go back to the Lakers, and then they offered up more money for him to not go. So Dwight Howard ended up leaving. So that caught them off guard. They thought they was actually finna get him. And he was actually finna go until they came and sweetened the pot. And then he was out. The problem with the Lakers is turnovers. See, when they're playing lethargic, and right now you can't even really judge the team, but right now it's turnovers. And I can see every team LeBron go to, this is going to be a problem because he's not somebody that could play off the ball. And I wanted to see what was going to happen when Schroeder got there because he's going to have to split bringing up the ball now. And this is the first time in a long time LeBron has ever had this really split bringing the ball up since Kyrie was there. And sometimes Kyrie would bring the ball up. So he can get it.
No, he don't.
So now, no, because LeBron do that, he don't like to do too much moving. He like to stand in one spot and let you go to work. And that's how Kyle be working somebody out. He don't need LeBron to set a pick for him. He can get off, cross somebody, and get his own shot. So LeBron could just stand there and be stupid. Now, Schroeder, he's not that kind of point guard. So LeBron got to try to move around, run through pick. And I see him. He just like pretend like he's trying to move off the 3 line, and he don't. And Schroeder got to try to make something happen. And he's the type of point guard who don't have a lot of discipline. He's a scoring point guard more than an assist guy. And this is where it's going to hurt you because even though he's good, he's going to get his 20-some points. That's not really what you need from him. What you need from him is to facilitate and make those extra passes. Now, when he get down there, he's going to take ill-advised shots, which he does. And then defensively, he's not really there. And other guards who are experienced, who are all going to be in the playoffs, they can take advantage of him.
You talking about LeBron or Schroeder?
Schroeder. Look, Schroeder cannot guard Dame Lillard, and they better understand that right now. He needs help. And you shouldn't push him off. I mean, CJ and him was torching him like it was nobody business. He was getting torched by the dude from Memphis. They ain't even got Ja.
Yeah.
And that's
like for me, like even though this is early, I judge how like the Lakers play, and I feel like defensively the Lakers need to adjust. It's still time for them to get players. I just feel like they need to get players that plays defense. Forget scoring, play defense. Because if they get guys that play defense, then it can help them up.
What do you mean by like get guys? Like you talking about like adding new pieces?
Yeah.
Also, but my question is, why can't LeBron, work with what he got?
Exactly.
Like
because he can't. He ain't built like that.
At this point,
right, brother, you ain't built.
You gotta realize he's in the twilight of his career, so it wouldn't make sense for him to try with rookies. But at the players he got now, he should have enough to say, okay, we can vie for a championship. Let's try to work on getting better now. He want to stack the deck so much that he'll care if he have all the superstars on his team, just as long as he win one.
What do you need, Stephen Curry?
Yeah, he'll try to get him too.
But see,
he try to get Green too.
You might as well just say, I want Stephen Curry.
Yeah. Yep.
But see, I think LeBron's biggest problem. LeBron's biggest problem is he wants to win now, but he's using it the wrong way.
He's always did it the wrong way, and that's why Kobe was like, "Man, you got to do it the right way because if you don't, if you win, but it don't mean anything." That's what I'm saying. It's like, dog, you stack the deck. That's not interesting. You had like 6 guys on there who can. Oh, that's like putting a dream team together and letting the dream team go play the NBA season. It's like okay, you won, but you were supposed to win.
You got Anthony Davis. There is no listen. He has Anthony Davis. There is no excuses at all. You shouldn't be having no excuses. I don't care.
They got Schroeder, they got Trez, they got AD, they got LeBron, they got like
double T.
Man, exactly.
And on top of that, they're getting an easy schedule in the beginning of the season. As you can peep, they played the Grizzlies like 3 times. They played the Spurs like 3 times in a row as well too. You already know what the NBA is doing, so it's just like work with what you got. The NBA is basically letting you get your chemistry together so y'all can get ready for the harder schedule down the line. This has always been happening with LeBron.
Trade Wesley Matthews. Whoa.
Wesley Matthews is doing what he's supposed to do. He just came in out of shape. He came in looking like a trash can. I like my man came in looking like a knocked up trash can, and I'm like, somebody didn't. He must have just woke up out of bed and somebody told him the season was starting. Wake up, man!
He's a decent shooter. You know, he's a decent shooter. He's a decent defensive.
Well, his thing is different. When you're looking at him, you're talking about an entirely different program altogether. You're talking about somebody who definitely wants to change the game and with his physicality. And he's not mostly known, for his scoring, but he get rugged buckets. He's that guy on the blacktop that you see that be playing outside on the streets. He get you those type buckets. That's Wesley Matthews. He's a grind you out guy, but he plays a disciplined game. He came from Marquette. He knows the game, but he's more defensively than offensively. That's just how they come. The offensive skills can come later, just like with Wade. Wade defense was amazing. Plus, he had that first step that'll blow you out the water. He gone. That first step, he gone.
That flash.
Yeah, that's why they gave him the name Flash, because he was gone. First he was there, then he wasn't.
Until he went to the Bulls.
Yo.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
A little bit.
Hey, I love to see it. I love seeing how the Spurs whooped the Lakers last night.
I kind of predicted they would because they had their team back. The last 2 games they were missing Ulrich. It was missing Ulrich and another player didn't play. They had 2 players that was out. They couldn't do anything. I wanted to see what Rudy Gay would do. So I watched some of it on the internet because I refuse to watch Laker games while they go live. So I saw Rudy Gay was taking advantage of them. They couldn't. Rudy Gay was playing like he played like 6-7 years ago. So he was actually effective. Instead of sitting back shooting threes, he was going to the cup, and the Spurs was hitting every 3 they put up, seemed like to me. But it's the turnovers. The turnovers are killing the Lakers. Every team LeBron is on, the turnovers are high. So you got to look at that, and that's because the defensive rotations is slow because he doesn't play off the ball well defensively. When you move the ball around, you're going to have an open shot because people are going to have to cover for LeBron. He's not going to rotate over. He's not going to run back and forth across the court. You could run him all day long. This is how Golden State beat them. They would pass the ball like 4-5 times, zipping around the court. LeBron be huffing and puffing. By the time the first, second quarter over, he on the bench in a pool of sweat. And I was like, yep, they got him. They're going to keep running this bum because that's all you got to do. They more conditioned than the Lakers were. Than those teams were. They were better conditioned and they knew how to run. They knew how to
man, Braun.
Yep.
Right. Everybody else doing this stagnant high pick and roll. That's it.
And to be that big, to be that tall and weigh that much, and never play in the post, that's a problem. That's sad.
Well, the team that's disappointing, and I knew they would be here, is the Toronto Raptors. I knew they would be in this boat that they in right now.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I knew.
I thought Siakam was going to actually step up a little bit, but I didn't know they was only going to just win one game.
He's that Chris Bosh.
The thing was, he got off to a hot start because if you're not thinking about somebody and they popping you off for a game, you're like, man, this dude is really getting off. And he was on his way last season. And now that they start this bubble thing, and plus people are honing in on him, they starting to see he's not a number one.
Right.
So you start to see that, right? When you're a number one, the focus is on you, it changes everything.
Yep.